Hey guys, today I'll be reviewing the Divinus Velvet tips. On the left side, you'll see the standard version. On the right side, you'll be seeing the wide bore version. A big thanks to Ho-Kago for sending me this review unit. Please do check their website below the like button. I have shared the unaffiliated link. They have all the DACs, DAPs and IEMs you can ever want. But all the thoughts and opinions you're about to hear are my own. Basically, the standard has is something like the radius deep mount ear tips, which I did hear of that. It has that the rather than the thickness of the ear tips at the end, it has it in the middle, so you do not have to insert it that deep to get a proper seal. So that is the trick which Divinus is using over here, and the ear tip material is very soft. It is not as it doesn't catch as much as dust as many other ear tips, so that is really good. You can give it a quick like a wipe with your finger and the dust goes off, and if there is any earwax, you can just take a ear tip and just clean it. It goes off very easily and it stays relatively clean. So that is the benefit of the material of the both the Divinus ear tips. Now as for the standard ear tips, what I would say is it doesn't change the sound that much, but depending on what IEM and what IEM you use, it could change, and what type of ear shape you have. For example, when I'm using the Divinus ear tips in something like for my ear in the Truth Ear Nova, I did notice a bass reduction. I did notice that it sounds a tad bit brighter in some IEMs, but in some IEMs, for example, the Lecture Cadenza, I found that the Divinus standard was did give me a bass bump, and in some and the upper mids were tamed down a bit. So that is what I saw. And in the Lecture S15, what I saw with the Divinus was I did get again a bass bump, especially in the sub bass region. So that is the Divinus Velvet standard. Now talking about the wide bore, the wide bore is similar to standard in terms of the materials and everything, but as I said, it has wide bore. So let me show you still once again. Yeah, as you can see, it has wide bore, basically, literally. So what that does is, it rather than sending the sound to its channel, it sends it like this. Yeah, it's like a Y shape outside. And let me say you, the fit and the how do I say, the fit and the, let me say you one thing, the fit of the Divinus wide bore is fantastic. I think so. In my collection, I do not have a big collection, but with the few IEMs I have, the wide bore fit every IEM perfectly, and the fit with the wide bore was fantastic. It was top notch, and I cannot I cannot say how good these were. But what happens is with the Divinus Velvet tips, sometimes for example with the Truth Ear Nova, there was a pressure inside. So when I'm inserting it, there was a pressure buildup. Although it did try to mitigate that, it didn't work quite well in some deep fitting IEMs. But with the radius, it was fantastic. The fit was good. You had the same soft material, the dust free anti-dust material over here, which was fantastic. So I really like the fit of the Divinus Velvet. It quickly became one of my favorite tips. Now, in terms of sound, how does a wide bore compare to the Divinus Velvet? What I noticed was the Divinus Velvet had the wide bore had a more tighter bass response in some places, but in some places, but in some IEMs, it kept the bass response the same. Also, one thing it did was it gave a tad bit of a boost in the treble and a tad bit boost in the upper mid. For most of the IEMs, what it did that. So I didn't find it to be bright. For example, the SimGot EF500LM is a very bright IEM. When I tried them with this, it didn't do that. Like I mean, it did do that, but it didn't make it so much that it made uncomfortable the upper mids and the treble. But what it did do for each and every IEM I tried is improve the soundstage, and I think so that goes and that's thanks to the wide bore over here. The soundstage was so spacious. For example, the EF500LM and the SimGot EM6L, they do have very good soundstage already, but with the wide bore they were even better. So that is one of the big thing. As someone who likes a big soundstage, they do that. And there was no bass reduction, as I said. Very few, not very few, I don't think so any IEMs I have tried out of my memory had any bass reduction over here. So I think so I prefer the wide bore over the standard if you have a bit of a darker sounding IEM. For example, with the Lecture S15, it's one of my favorite IEMs. I thought if I would try the wide bore, I would lose a tad bit on the bass, and I would also get more treble. that didn't happen. What happened was the bass stayed the same. I got a bit of a bump in the upper mid range, a bit of a bump in the treble, and the sound stage increased. So with the S15 and the Divinus Velvet Wide Bore, they were fantastic. I mean, seriously, I thought these were good. These are even better. So if you have something dark sounding, try the wide bore. And yes, the entire set is around 25 USD, but I think so it is much more worth it than spending something on an IEM cable. So because this does change the sound. Again, that changing of the sound does depend on the IEM you're using, your ear anatomy, these two things. So it might not change for everyone, but there is a high chance this will change, because I did see some other people who bought the Divinus Velvet Wide Bore, and they said that it is like one of the best ear tips they have ever heard. So yeah, Wide Bore is a fantastic ear tip. The Divinus Standard is also good, but I think the Wide Bore is even better, at least for my ear anatomy and the IEMs I'm using. Especially if you like a wide soundstage, a more spacious soundstage, this is better. So yeah, that's my review of the Divinus Velvet Wide Bore and the Standard. If you have any comments, please do ask them below. I'll try to help you out. 94% of the people watching this video aren't subscribed, so I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. That really helps me out a lot. So yeah, I hope you have a great day ahead. Bye.